Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another pick a card reading. This time we are doing to pick a card about your sensuality and how people view you. But also I wanted to pull cards about who is thinking about you. So without further ado, if you chose pile number 1, this is your reading. So pile number 1, right off the bat, I think that people, when they look at you, they think that you're incredibly strong. I think that not only are you physically strong, but that you've endured probably a lot. They've seen you kind of wrestle and wrangle through different things in life. And I think part of what is your allure, if you will, is that you have really overcome a lot. So they know that you know how to get yourself muddy, dirty, whatever it is, get your hands in there if you have to, that you're not easily intimidated, and that you have a really strong will, that you're not just one to just easily give in. And that is one characteristic about you that makes you incredibly sexy and attractive. Now, this obviously isn't a trait that is a physical thing. But I think that's something that would really surprise you to know, is your inner fortitude actually speaks volumes about you. Now, the next thing that we notice is, of course, how she's wrestling this, I forget what it's called. Oh my gosh. It's one of those wild pigs, but I forget. Javelina. Okay, here we go. But she's actually wrestling the javelina, and she's just not afraid to take control of the mouth, even put her hand where the mouth is, where this creature can actually bite her. She's fully confident and competent in herself. And as you notice, while she's like straddling this creature or attempting to, her butt is pretty much exposed. So I feel like when people think about you, and what is really captivating about you, also, they wonder or they think about your butt. And I know it sounds really weird, but believe me, when people are walking, it's very natural to kind of look at people's butts, just because it is what it is, right? Now, this is an 18 plus, and so if you're not 18, go ahead and click off. But I feel like they would love to kind of wrestle with you, get dirty with you. People feel like you would be a formidable adversary, for lack of a way of putting it. They would love to have your breast pressed up against their face, up against their head. They would love to have you try to pin them down and even just physically wrestle them. Maybe perhaps you guys have done this in the past and they really enjoyed it. And they even picture what it would be like to currently be wrestling and wrangling with you, matching wits with you, trying to kind of like jousting, verbal jousting, seeing if you can actually keep up with them. And the fact that you do, and they have an inkling that you do, is a real turn on, okay? You could be, actually you could be a Leo. You could be somebody who is really any of the fire signs. So, also, I feel like you're really independent. She is actually wearing yellow here. Not that you can see much of it, but a lot of yellow is being referenced, and that has to do with a lot of your inner power, knowing who you are, knowing what you want in life. You could be really single-minded in this, or very willful, saying that you are not going to be veered off course. You will have your focus on whatever your prize is, okay? And for that very reason, actually, I'm pulling from a different deck. Sorry about the camera shake here. We have Square. Creates restrictions, obstacles, pressure, power struggles, Power struggles, demands, motivates, confrontation, and resistance. So part of that is a turn on, even though part of it is just, it creates kind of a stalemate, that the fact that you can so easily take someone else to the mat, and not give in. Not saying that you're like a better wrestler or a better at that craft anyways, but that you're willing to do it and not give in and not compromise, and that you're willing to confront and you're willing to even confront like power struggles or engage in power struggles, and that feels almost at once like an obstacle, but as well as part of the allure that people want to come towards you for as well. As weird as this sounds, it is true. Okay, we're going to look more into this. Okay, some of this, if you pick pile number one, some people would love for you to smother them. And I do mean like smother, like put your weight on me completely, totally try to snuff me out. I want to feel your body completely on me, that kind of a thing. Which is interesting because I feel like that's just still a little bit more of like the wrestling thing, feeling like maybe they want you to try to overpower them even in bed sexually as well. Okay, what else do we have to know about pile number one as far as why you are sensual or sexually attractive? Show me now. I'm getting this guy right here. Third quarter, forgiveness, contemplation, reflection, reevaluation, introspection, revision. Changes are required. Keep trusting. All is not lost. And adjustments. So maybe, interesting, because I feel like a lot of people from your past are actually thinking about you. Thinking about what it was that was not only sexually charging about you and what is really hot about you, but they're also even coming in with the energy of like, wow, this was like a real battle, a real struggle, and what we went through or the reason why we broke up, whatever. They're having a period of contemplation, reflection, reevaluation, and introspection. They know that they need to change or something radically needs to change in the situation before, if they even hope that they can come forward for you once again. Okay, even if you're connected to someone else, this could be people from your past thinking about this. I think that even sexually, you've had such a impact on people in your past that he can't quite get over it. Hidden truths to the surface. Power of the hidden. Retreat. Necessary void and want to change. Outcome remains unclear. So yeah, this kind of validates a lot of like old energy of, you know, the voices of Christmas past, if you will. People that still think about you, the times that you wrestled, that you maybe pulled their hair and that were just kind of surprised, or maybe you were able to overcome them in like a play fight or a wrestling match or anything like that. But the reality is that as much fun as that was, you know, I think tropical sands, and that's a little bit of fantasy, but all of a sudden you're wrestling in a lot of like stones and things like that, almost like a river creek in the middle of, I don't know what this is. So I feel like there's an element of like fantasy. Maybe a lot of these people like fantasizing about you and remembering, or just fantasizing. Okay, what else do we need to know? Show me now. Aquarius. So they're thinking about the future mental expansion, edgy, unique, eccentric, independent, diverse, humanitarian, and idealistic. And I feel like this ultimately is more your card and why they are trying to kind of wrap their brain about it, or wrap their brain around things. Like, they know that in the future, if they were even to have a future, they need to really transmute those energies, and things need to radically change. It's not all about the struggle and the pleasure of the struggle and the fun parts, but it is a part about hidden truths coming to surface. The power of hidden truth that perhaps like broke you guys up, or kept you guys apart, or kept you guys from coming together to begin with. The necessary void would really talk about allowing time and expanse and things to change. Allowing both people to change in order to even come forward for you, if this is even somebody new. Because I feel like on this side we have a lot of like people that you perhaps were with or want to date you, or maybe went on one date with you, things like that. And on this side, this could be new people that really didn't even try to shoot their shot with you, or you went out with a couple of times and they just got a little bit maybe intimidated or kept their feelings hidden to themselves and that kind of a thing, okay? A lot of restrictions, confinement there. What else do we find about you? Attractive, irresistible. As I drop all my cards. The 6th house. So maybe you're focusing on health, diet, daily routine, service, work habits, pets, fitness, skills, organization, and details. Now this could be like, you know, you're focusing on you, basically. You're getting centered. And I feel like if these people don't know you from before, like, or don't really know you at the core level, they see you actually growing, that your heart chakra is actually opening, expansion, taking care of your skin, taking care of your body, perhaps eating clean, eating a vegetarian diet or pescatarian, or adding more supplements and eating a balanced meal, or doing intermittent fasting. I definitely, obviously with that little pet in particular, I feel loyalty is a major issue, and that's why you are even more attractive than before. Like, not only are you cutting edge, that you have the mental expansion, and you're super edgy. Like, you're not predictable. Pile number 1, let me tell you, you guys are almost like my runway people. Like, people don't know what to expect, what you're going to wear, whether you have hair pieces, hair colors, or what is it that you are going to be encloaking your beautifulness in. It's just something different. They know what to expect is not going to be the norm. And the fact that you're taking care of your mental health, your physical health, and your emotional well-being, that you're putting yourself number 1, this is very much obvious to everyone. And I feel like also for you guys, there's been a time out that you haven't really interacted maybe with a lot of people. You're just focusing on bettering yourself, your scenario. What else do they think about when they think about pile number 1? And I just have this jump, so let's go with it. The jump card. I have the 8 of Swords. Once again, they are mentally entangled with their own ideas. I mean, they are definitely, I would say, horny for you. I mean, definitely thinking that they want to get it on with you. Thinking about how that would transpire. And then I have some green here, like some heart chakra. So I do feel like for some of you guys, it's almost like breast to breast. They want like a heart connection in some way, somehow, but they're not really entirely sure how to make this happen. So I feel like mental confines, which is something that we address, like the limitations. You have mental expansion while they are like mentally confined to thinking, well, what would this be like? What does it entail? How do I do this? How do I come, no pun intended, how do I come forward for this person? Things like that. And I feel like there is an obsessiveness, an obsessive thinking, because also, you know, typically the 8 would be a lot about cycles, a lot about abundance and things like that, and the positive aspect. But because I feel like this person is holding back, or these people, I feel like you have at least 4 people that are quite infatuated with you, by the way. I feel like it's 3 from the past and at least 1 from the future, maybe even more than 4 people, or future, current, whatever. But the mental expansion has to happen here. But they do think about intimacy with you. They think about like maybe heart-to-heart conversations, or being able to even, quote, like make love and look into your eyes and things like that. So it's not necessarily all about just getting your hair messed up and then walking away, things like that. They know that they have to come at you straight because you have a lot of personal power here. It's not like you're just going to, I don't know. It's not like you're going to indulge them just because you have spare time and you are just easily approachable and you're like, oh, okay, let's do that, you know. And it's really weird because one time I had somebody that I went on a date with, and he asked me if I would like collar him, you know, and walk him on a leash. And I just thought, you know, it sounds funny, but I just thought, oh, I just met you. Why would I do that? And then he asked, you know, if I would do other things. And then I'm thinking, I just looked at him. I'm like, why would I even do that? I don't even know you. Like, what's in it for me? People are just kind of ridiculous. But I think that's the difference between, like, really owning yourself and owning your personal power, and having I don't know, kind of like a very young energy to where you're like, yeah, sure, let's see where this goes, or yeah, whatever, like willing to indulge and entertain. And I think that people forget, especially if you're like in the fetish community or something like that, that, you know, there has to be a reason why another person engages, whether it's attention or self-esteem or a mutual attraction or mutual pleasure, whatever the case may be. So there is something to think about as well. People know that they can't come at you sideways like that, that you're not just about to dole out sexual favors just for the hell of it. You know, okay, here you go. Now calling $9,099. It's just not going to happen like that. I think you have a lot more self-esteem than that. And people know that about you. So again, your will is very strong. People know they can't come at you sideways. What else is it? And again, I'm getting the reference like people would love to see your butt. And if they've seen it, they would love to see it again. I think you're probably my pile that has like a really beautiful chest, and people kind of obsess over like what you would look like or what you do look like. And if you sent any pictures, they probably go over those pictures and have it in their phone and kind of go over them over and over again, look at them a lot, that kind of a thing. What else do we have for my pile of one? Show me now. Okay. All right, and so I have here like the 5 of bastons, and this is, you know, all about competition. I feel like they know, people know, especially from your past, well, even now in the here and now, that there's a lot of competition for your attention. So it's not going to be just let me throw in my hat, let me give them a call. They have to bring their A game with you. And not only because you're intelligent, but you're cutting edge and you have really high self-esteem. So your self-worth has gone up like 20,000 notches. And not just anybody can have someone like you, okay? I think that is really cool because it makes people think twice about it. This thinking twice is good unless you get tangled in that thought, okay? But moving on, I think that even part of the battle for this person is, look, they have looked in the mirror and seen, well, am I a good match for this person? Am I equally as attractive or equally as skilled or equally as self-contained or equally as edgy? Do I have what it takes to offer this person something as opposed to what they believe you're being offered currently? So this could be like this person's like fantasizing about you being with other people, that you have so many different opportunities that they're gonna have to really fight for you, or it could be that they're just trying to size up the competition. Okay, so I think that again, a lot of it is all in their heads, because actually energetically I feel like you're wrestling and wrangling with a new life, with trying to make things better for yourself on a mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical level. And so you're not so much giving sexual attention out, you're focusing on inner growth and inner well-being, okay, that for most of you. The 10 of chalices, this is like the 10 of cups. And so for some of them, I feel like people are viewing you as just incredibly gorgeous. Again, we got the cleavage going on, the neckline, the collarbone. They can just look at you and just really want to know what your boobs look like. Maybe some of you guys have a small waist, or maybe you have a big butt, or both. You're lucky enough to have both, or you work hard enough to have both. That's awesome. And they definitely like that too. Maybe your legs are super juicy and they wonder if you can crack them like a walnut. Just an idea. Also, you might even be into wearing like an ankle bracelet or things like that, or they think that you do. A little bit like a gypsy spirit, okay? And they wonder if you would be someone like after sex that you would just really indulge, like eat something in bed that would even make it like sexy, or like post-coital, oh my gosh, I like tangled my words, kind of an energy where you are satisfied physically and then you want to like satisfy your body physically as well. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about, not just sexually, but satisfaction with food. And they wonder also, like some of you guys, when you eat food, they wonder if you make noises like, that is so good, or whatever, and it makes their brain go to other places. And maybe you guys have gone out to dinner, lunch, or things like that. And the way that you've eaten food has made them like riveted on your mouth, and they have other thoughts, obviously. Okay. So that is a possibility as well. So the next card I have here is Saturn return. Paying your dues, wake up call, time to grow up, clearing the past, facing the truth, aging, strip down. So this is all about bringing things to light, to the forefront. I think that you can see things really, really clearly, whereas other people might be confused about you, about their feelings about you, or about the propensity for a relationship or even a hookup, whatever the case may be for you. No judgment there. And I feel like you are being viewed as this person right here with all of the horns on her head, almost like I will, you know, if alarms go off, I'm going to act, react, and you're going to have to pay your dues. It's a wake-up call. You're going to have to do a lot to really be my physical, energetic, and mental, emotional match, kind of like that. So you do have high expectation, but I don't think that they are unrealistic. I think people think that you are maybe high maintenance, okay? And maybe you're getting older, and there's a lot of clearing of the past. Maybe people see you sexually as different than what you are today, who you are today, and you think, well, it's time to grow up, like those times. Come on now. I'm not, you know, 19 anymore. Maybe you are, but you get the point. What else do we need to know about poem number 1? Show me now. Look, the stars. So you are completely, again, it's all about the boobs, the neckline, the booty right here. They would like for you to fold up on top of them, I feel. I feel like maybe they would even like to pour hot wax on them, or I think that you're very, like, I mean, versatile. Like, one minute you can be extremely kind of under control or whatever, and the next minute just a little bit bashful and dainty. And that's part of what the alert is. So I think that they want you, and kind of like everything just hangs, all the stars surrounding this one star. It's like every woman that they're around or they look at, or every person they're around, if you're a man, they're comparing other people to you physically, mentally, spiritually. And I mean that in a good way, like that you are coming out winning in every aspect of the word. Now I know that especially women have a hard time with body image and things like that, but regardless of how we judge ourselves, the fact is that you are looked at as being somebody who is highly esteemed and almost like unattainable, but they keep going back to you. This is somebody who keeps going back to you. This is somebody who could think about you actually and experience like some masturbation sessions or whatever the case may be, or you could have had sessions where you do, you know, like FaceTime phone calls and things like that, like sex sessions or whatever, or they fantasize about that with you. And I think that they would love for you to speak about how you see them, how manly they are, or how attractive they are, how you'd love to maybe ride them, go on top, or whatever the case may be. And intuitively, I feel like you're gonna know who this is. So this narrative, if it fits you, you're gonna know who and what, especially the people from past are. And I even feel intuitively that you know who is thinking about you in the current situation. Good grave. Okay. So that is what I have for you, pile number 1. If you like this kind of reading, smash that like button, like, share, comment, subscribe, and namaste. Hi, pile number 2. If you chose this message, this is for you. So first off, I want to say thank you for stopping in. Next, I want to address the number 6 right here that we're seeing. And yeah, we have some bird action here. So, of course, I feel like the number 6 and the 6 of Wands especially, I feel like there's a lot of people looking at you, a lot of people looking at your butt. It could be like in pictures and Instagram and Facebook or whatever public platform you're on, even just taking like innocent pictures. They're just trying to catch a glimpse, maybe scrolling to see what your butt looks like if they don't know. If they currently have pictures of you, if you have been in the past like intimate or sent selfies of that kind to people. They're definitely keeping it on their phone within reach so they can easily access it. And I feel like they would just love to need your butt. So your butt is a really big thing here. I think that they would love to look at you from behind. I think that they feel like you're definitely like above them, okay? Like you are kind of untouchable, but they still want to try. At least that is the desire, right? That is the focus. So you do have a lot of people who are wanting to get with you, who are wanting to touch your body, who are wanting to look at your boobs. They want to see what your back looks like. They'd love to hit it from behind as well. They would love to see everything, like you on all fours, and see just what you look like. I think you may have like really beautiful hair, long hair, or they picture a hair draped over your back as they do kind of explore your body, that kind of a thing. And they could really feel kind of like they're a fumbling bumpkin, for lack of a better way to put it. Some of these I'm seeing goats over here, so I feel like perhaps they think that if they were to approach you, that you would think, what do you want, old goat? Like, you're way too old for me, get the hell away from me. That kind of a thing, but they are still infatuated and riveted by you. You could wear red, or you could wear boots, or both, and they could just be totally head over heels. Like, I feel like also, there's still like an element with this one right here of masturbation. I feel like they have thought about you and about possibly like coming on your butt or on your legs and thinking about things like that. I think they would just love to see your face as they touch and explore your body. They would love to know what it would be like if their beard or facial hair were to graze your skin. They would wonder what that would feel like. I also think that for some, we have the bunny hair. So this is saying that for pile number 2, a lot of people would love to just come in and F like bunnies. You know, they would just they would think that would be sex all the time, basically. And I think this is a little bit like excessive, but you know, people think how they think, and who am I to control it? So I think that they feel like they would be all over you all the time, and they would love to have you on top of them. That is one thing as well that I'm seeing. I think that for some of you guys, this person, actually these people, are even thinking like, can I make her squirt, that kind of a thing. And also they wonder what it would be like would they feel really relaxed afterwards, would they feel stressed and just have to like get up and run, that kind of a thing with like the dove right here. So that is a thing for someone. What else do we have for pile number 2? Show me now. Okay. So the Hermit, this could be a Virgo or someone with Virgo tendencies, or just stating basically that they need to go within just to kind of contemplate, think about things. This could be also somebody who thinks that their manhood is not big enough for you, or they are just really small, or have doubts. Maybe they have ED, erectile dysfunction. And I see this person's heel glowing. So it could be that they have had a problem. Hold on. Excuse me. With allergies or in full swing. Lovely. They could have had a problem. This could be like the Achilles heel to them, is that they have struggled with maybe erectile dysfunction or something like that. And they really struggle with coming forward to you and making that happen. So it's not just about, are you attainable? Because I feel like a lot of people are celebrating you or looking at you like, wow, you know, I would love to be with her. I wonder what she'd be like. She looks pretty wild, or she looks just completely sensual. I don't get like a wildness. It's just very comfortable in your own body, and that is so freaking attractive. And again, look, he's like, his attention is on the lower back and on her butt. So just looking at you again from behind. And then this person is wondering, can I match up to her other lovers and people who've been there, done that, in other words. And so they're a little bit stuck. And the fact that I feel like his lower body is frozen, almost like a white or ashy look. I mean, yeah, maybe he didn't put hand lotion on his legs or whatever. But I feel more than that, I feel like it's almost like this is stating that it's This person is so deep in thought and so withdrawn, so within themselves, thinking about problems versus kind of like being lighthearted and thinking about the possibilities that they have talked themselves out of approaching you, number one. And number two, I feel like their legs are frozen almost like in a statue manner. And so they can't move forward. Okay, this jumped out. So for pile number two, this card always makes me laugh because this person is so freaking frustrated. They're pissed off, frustrated, angry. They keep writing text over and over again, throwing it away, or sending you snail mail. I don't think that pertains to most of you, but it seems like they just want to kind of communicate, and whatever it is that they write, they just discard it. It's never good enough, and I think that this person goes through phases like this. So it's not the first time that they've attempted to sit down and kind of like reach out to you, maybe reach out via social media or via text or email, whatever. Or even picking up the phone and calling you. They don't know what to say. It's like words are not good enough. They're frustrated. They're pissed off at the situation. And I feel like this couple is dancing under the moonlight. This could be actually an old lover or somebody that you had a connection with in the past that, because it's so dark, and they're haunted by the memory of you, by the way. But because it's so dark, I feel like things happen here that they weren't really open about. It's almost like this cat is just playing with the paper that he keeps discarding with the text. And it's like his intuition is that you would just kind of play with his words or be amused by them or toy with them and torture them, because I feel like the way that things ended for pile number two may not have been the best. And so they think that you're going to give them some medicine, basically. That's what I feel. And they're just incredibly like sexually frustrated, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I feel like this keeps them up at night. And when they think they're going to make a move, then they change their mind, and so on and so forth. So there's some mental turmoil going on here. And I can't say that it's not unamusing. Okay. Okay, so I think that your intuition is really, really high, so I feel like you would even know who this is as well. What else do we need to know for my pile number two? What do we have for you? Show me now. Okay. So look, this person, actually these people, would even love to not only look at your butt and look at your boobs and have you basically like worship their private parts and almost like play master slave and that kind of a thing. They just want to feel like they're in a position of dominance, which perhaps this is why this isn't moving forward, this other scenario here. But they have a lot of fantasies about you, about pulling up your hair, about looking at your mouth and what it would be like to be in your mouth or have their fingers in your mouth. Something to do with drool and saliva, and seeing you maybe drooling on yourself could be a major turn on. They would like to get clarity about this, but also they're almost like at a standstill because their thoughts are running rampant. So I feel like you have a ton of people in their heads, including exes, which is similar to pile number one, but not quite. Also, there could be something with the soles of your feet, that they would love to see soles of your feet. They would love to, I think, lick them or just be all over them and worship them. Now, for others of you in pile number two, you do have like the Two of Swords. Again, I feel like this is this person, where they feel like they want to come at you romantically. They would love to play with you and toy with you and feel like they are in control, and even offering you like a flower. But I feel like this is just stating that, you are such a lady, or so poised, and so maybe you don't portray yourself at all as sensual, but you're like really cool, collected, and maybe you have a small waist and a big butt, and they can just see that, or they can tell. Or you draw off this air of like, I'm not prim and proper, but I'm definitely not easy. And they are thinking, I would love to come to you in the middle of the night, and I would love to like play with you, and if not touch you, have you like undressed before me so I could just see you, or have you in a state where they feel in control and get you in a state of excitement. But this person is not even like dressed to stay. Like, she is in a gown and just kind of almost like half dressed, missing a shoe. Again, the foot worshiping thing that can have foot fetish. but they're too chicken, I feel like a chicken here, to throw in their lot completely. They would want to come in and play with you and think about it. And ultimately, all that playing and thinking would lead to them bailing out, because there's a lack of courage here to stay and see how this plays out. So I don't know if they would actually completely go through with being intimate with you, or they would just want to tease you to kind of get your mind going or your brain going, just the way their mind and their brain is going. Also, I feel like there's been no movement, because simply here you have a sword right at your feet. This is traditionally Two of Swords. It is a stalemate, and I feel like that would be like this person that can't, there's movement that needs to happen or something needs to be done, and they can't move forward, but they can't get their thoughts off of you. They can't get their thoughts off of your juicy legs, your thighs, maybe. You guys fought, and you locked them in an embrace with your legs, and like they were surprised at how strong you were, and that is a major turn on. Or some of the people looking at you or thinking about you right now are thinking that you are just so strong that you can probably crack them. So yeah, there's an element of, maybe I feel like even one person for you is like, even you have people that are committed, okay, committed in other situations, or even married, or have other other mates out there, and they just want to come in and like tease and provoke and see if they can even like, I heard taste you, but like they don't want to stay even for like an hour. They're definitely in and out. I mean, this guy, if he were even to have sex with you, would probably just unzip his pants and then leave. And this could be even like seeing if they can get you to the point where you're aroused so much that they feel like they have that control over you, and then they would leave. So this person is not here to stay, or it can be indicating that some people also just want to have sex with you like really quick, like the bunny indicates, and then be out. Okay, so this person is wearing a cloak. They're definitely cloaking their thoughts. They're definitely not sharing this with you or anyone else, because I feel like they're in other commitments or other situationships. So that is, I think, for someone. As far as how many are in this situation, then let's see. How many people do we have for pile number 2? How many people for pile number 2 that are kind of engaged and just kind of drooling over you, thinking about you? Show me now. A lot. So I have 2 right here, probably that are currently in a marriage or engagement or situationship with somebody else. You definitely have somebody, a King of Pentacles right here, who is willing to actually throw in his lot with you, to date you seriously, take you seriously, things like that. Somebody who is approaching you with caution, who would definitely look at you as like kind of wifey material. They don't like this person, as hot as they think you are. They want to make sure that you are also solid, that you're not like willy-nilly. They need somebody who is also salt of the earth, in spite of the attraction here, like you're a magnet. This person knows that there's a lot of competition, but this person also is confident in what they can offer you. So I feel like, as far as like sensuality, sexuality, things like that, this person actually can vibe your match. You like that? Can match your vibe actually completely. I think that they're a little bit, they don't worry. For example, like their manhood, or are they big enough, or can they provide, can they satisfy you? They don't worry about things like that. Maybe they don't even worry. They have confidence in themselves that they can, quote, conquer you or be with you. But I want to say that for them, it's going to be a lasting power, like a long-term thing. And so I do feel like they have like these 2 horned creatures or whatever, and I think that they do a lot of kind of like spying or checking you out in the middle of the night, things like that. So what else do we have for you? Show me now. Look, you have a lot of people that actually want to offer you something solid, okay? Something tangible. They actually would love to give you like real time, real energy, you do have at least two that are, of course, like we mentioned before, already in a commitment. That they know that that's not going to go anywhere. They have no plans on it going anywhere. But you also have even more. You've got the Knight of Pentacles here, the King of Pentacles. Pentacles is always about, I take my time. I send out my aviary friends or whatever to just really look and see if this person is worth the time, energy, effort. I feel like they see you for quality of who you are, okay? They just don't look at your sexuality and sensuality, although that is a big part of the draw. Okay, give me one moment. Sorry about the interruption here. Sorry about that. But what I was saying is that I definitely feel like they see that there is a lot to be had by you, and not just like physically, sexually, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That you are definitely wifey or husbandy material. That's not even a term. Somebody that they would consider being locked. I heard the word locked and loaded. So, hey, take it for what it is. So you have at least two potentially solid suitors that want to kind of come towards you in the best way possible, and thinking about offering you something of substance, whether it's, you know, I'd like to see on a regular basis, or I'd like to see where this goes, or, you know, something to that effect. Now, one of them is actually a full-on king. The other one is a Knight of Pentacles, or bringing the energy of somebody who is younger or a younger energy. For example, one person might just offer like, I'd like to see you, you know, every week, or they may not say that, but they're constantly hitting you up trying to see you every week, that kind of a thing. Whereas this person is like, yeah, I really like how things are going, and I think that our lives kind of mesh well or match up, you know, pretty interesting, to see if they can line up even further, and this person would be considering like a future with you. Well, they both do, but in different kind of scale, okay? And then we have the Lovers card. So I do feel like even because these two are here, you may have to make a choice between two. And I've got the two here. And so one thing I want to say about the number two, yeah, it's about maybe two suitors wanting your attention. With the Lovers card, that always indicates there has to be a choice. You may have a choice of a lot of different people, but really, I don't think you're going to go with somebody who can't get their words together, can't get their head together, and is continually like frustrated and erasing their own messages. And then you won't go with somebody who just can't even approach you, who's just thinking about like the physicality only, and maybe not in their deficiencies, or even their perceived deficiency. I think that you are looking for something more tangible, and that would be one of these two. Not for everybody, but for somebody. So again, it would be making a decision. If we look at the traditional tarot, this is making a decision between two lovers. So this just could be stating that you're making a decision. One is older, one is younger, which is actually right on the money, spot on for the traditional tarot. And one thing I want to tell you is that you want to really look at your personal power. Does this person match you energetically? Like, are you at a full, you know, queen level, or even king level? If it's same sex, it doesn't make a difference to me, of course, but are you able to offer them the same or equitable as what they're offering you? Or are you kind of like, okay, let's just see where it goes, and I'm willing to offer like a token, like, yeah, I just might like stick around and just date you, nobody else, and we'll just kind of hang out and let things unfold naturally. So depending on what your vibe is and what it is that you're thinking, where you're at in life, your personal power has a lot to do with it. Potential for good things for both of them, depending on your age bracket and your motives. What would you like to do with your life? That kind of a thing. And then we have, of course, the Lovers here. So obviously that is self-explanatory. What else do we need to know for my pile number 2? About all these people. Why are they like so attentive towards you? Why do you have so many people looking at you? Show me now. The Four of Wands, what I tell you. So they see that you are solid, that you don't veer off, you're not flighty, you're consistent, even though you feel like maybe you may not feel consistent, but the way you show up, and I heard grow up and I heard glow up, okay? I see the number 1 actually on my painting. So I'm going to say that the way that you far outshine any competition, not that you're in any competition whatsoever, but I think that they can see bridging a gap with you and getting to a point where, you know, the Four of Wands is setting up shop, maybe having an apartment together, having a building together, having a business together. It is the beginning of a new, I heard enterprise, but what I'm thinking of more is just like setting up a home together, home and hearth, that kind of a thing. So there's still a little bit more to go to bridge this gap, whereas creature is under the bridge, needing to kind of, you know, kind of reassess, how am I going to bridge the gap? How am I going to approach this person, or whatever the case may be. But you definitely have love if you want it. You're definitely hot. You're definitely sexy. You could have, again, red hair, definitely nice butt, things like that. So if this resonated with you, smash that like button, like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that greatness. Much appreciate you, and let me know what else you'd like to see. Namaste. Hi guys, this is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do pile number 3, your read. So without further ado, here we go. Again, we are referencing the number 6, and I feel like in this case, because of the coldness of the vibe, and even like socks hanging up here, which I never even noticed before, this lady is looking at maybe somebody else making love to her lover, or the one that she loves, the one that she misses. I don't feel like this is about this person reminiscing, okay? And they could be. This could be stating that the person that is thinking about you is reminiscing about a time with you, and maybe they have, you know, their lover has like dark hair and you have red, or vice versa. But I feel like there is an element of memory, of looking in the mirror and of thinking, wow, is this what you really see for your future? Are you content with the current prognosis, what's going on right now, and how you've allowed your life to roll out, or what you have chosen so far? I do see that you have like little birds here, and this can indicate just a lot of chatter and talk about you. Maybe they're talking about you to your friends, or vice versa. I do feel like this is, again, having to do with a past lover or significant other, somebody of importance. Even if you weren't in a relationship, I do feel like this person still pertains to your past, which is why they are a little bit like feeling sad. Maybe wherever they're at, whenever you're watching this, the time would be autumn, when they start reflecting on you, reflecting on how it was when you guys made love, had sex, or flirted together, or were together, maybe things like that. Or perhaps this is just stating that in autumn, if you've never been with this person, they are just thinking about you, what it would be like to have sex, make love, or just flirt with you, that kind of a thing. But there is definitely an air of nostalgia. She is sitting on what looks like to be a really cold bench or a wall of some sort, and that doesn't look comfortable whatsoever. Even the socks seem out of place. It's like maybe you left an article of clothing at their house, or vice versa, and it always reminds you of them. Or again, if you were in a partnership before, they would do something kind of weird, like hang their bra over the shower, or over the door frame, or their socks over the doorway. Something unusual where they would hang their laundry, or some unusual way that maybe they did their laundry, that makes you always think about them and wonder about where they're at and how they are. And so part of this is a little bit of a self-torment, if I could just be real honest with you. It's just nostalgic, you know, what else is there to say? Okay, so they could be even thinking about you when they're actually being intimate with other people, if you guys have made different choices, or vice versa. What else do we need to know about pile number 3? Show me now. The Two of Wands, there needs to be, I love this Two of Wands, this is so pretty. There needs to be a choice, okay? And it's like a choice, like a final choice. This is my final answer, that kind of a thing. And I feel like one of you, maybe it's even you, it's like wishing that you could see into the future and really figure out what it is that you want. Make a solid decision. Do I make grand changes in my life and go after this potential, like a love lost, or somebody passed on before, and vice versa. So whatever this Two of Wands is to you, I feel like this has to do with choosing between an old love and a new one, okay? And I have the Six of Swords. This could be about a move. So maybe somebody wants to move towards you or needs to move away from where they're at to be near, something like that. There could be children involved. There could be situations where they have, you know, been through it, or you have been through it, and you're taking your life's experiences with you in order to help you navigate your future and go into calmer waters. Maybe things are not hunky-dory like they thought, you know? Oh gosh, well, hello. The Ten of Swords, things are definitely not going well their way with their love, with their marriage, with their significant other, if this is someone from your past. You know, if they're not connected to anyone on a serious level, like if they're still single and things like that, I do feel like they're having connections, but they're superficial connections, and they're still thinking about you. Now, something about your soul is just completely different. I feel like she even has the, what is that? Is it the Torah? Anyways, a scroll and just a lot of wisdom. So this person can view you as somebody who's like a high priestess, like she who knows, she who carries a lot of secrets, she who is divinely inspired, who is in tune with spirit, with God, with the ethers, and gets a lot of messages. But they could be really feeling like they are rendered like immobile, like they can't move forward, or maybe there's been a betrayal and they have betrayed you, and now to think that they want to come back towards you, it almost seems impossible. And how do I make reparations or ramifications for that mess, right? I've got the Ten of Wands. Whatever it is that they're feeling and thinking, it is very burdensome to think about, because they know clearly like what they want. I feel like it is like the new. They want you, even if you've been in a relationship before. But this reading is about how people see you and view you and your sensuality. So I feel like you're very feminine, very delicate. You can have, or like wearing a lot of like pastels, or they could view you as somebody who really likes pastels or anything like that. They could also like have a picture of you two together, or think about memories. I heard even like false memories of you guys together and things like that, or even like going out in nature and making love, or they could love the way your legs look, and when you wear dresses, how attractive you are. They could love your hair and how different it is. And I feel like she even has some gray in her hair. So it could be that you've like really aged well and this person still thinks about you. And again, there's something to do with like the soles of your feet and how you you kind of bear your soul, but you are still very kind of a little bit conservative, and don't expose too much of yourself in your own heart. Okay, so this person knows that you are kind of like warm and approachable, but you are also she who knows, who holds a lot of secrets, and that can be really intimidating to a lot of people. Okay, what else do we need to know? I keep getting a lot of sixes in here. What do we need to know for pile number 3? Show me now. Strength. This person knows that you are incredibly strong, that there is no stopping you, that maybe you've undergone, for some of you guys I've heard that you've had a lot of skin issues, or problems with like melanoma, and you battled perhaps like skin cancer or something like that, or health issues like autoimmune issues that you haven't really spoken about to a lot of people. For others, there have been a lot of issues in your life that have really made you incredibly strong. And even though you may not like publish that or make it super public, because I feel like there is kind of a downplaying of events or a privacy thing where you're kind of like, yeah, I don't really tip my hand. I don't let people know everything. And by all means, you don't need to, but I feel like they know that you've been through it, that perhaps you have dealt with a lot of snakes in your life and you've come out on top. I feel like they feel like you have really ascended, that you're incredibly beautiful, that what you wear is even like divine and flowy and just different, and it's riveting for them. It doesn't have to be even expensive, just your style, the colors that you choose. I feel like the white is once again a nod to your spirituality, a nod to your openness. I feel like your chest plate is open to whatever the universe has to bring, and that you're unafraid, that you have really conquered a lot of your fears and gained a lot of trust in your own abilities, because I mean the universe has tried you and you have been tried and true. Okay, but there is a longing with this, a longing to move forward towards you. I feel like that's one particular person actually. What else do we have? What about your sensuality here, and who is thinking about you? Show me now. Judgment. So this could be, I feel like, hello, this is what I like to call the ghost of Christmas past. Is somebody who perhaps you had a connection in the past, and either you passed on them or they passed on you. So there was like a closeness. It's almost like the Two of Cups vibration, where you guys like really saw each other for who you were, who you are, and then something transpired that it just didn't work. Somebody formed a judgment. So we have the number 5, that you've been through a lot of challenges. You've had a lot of adversity that you had to face by yourself, and that you've conquered yourself, your own fear, and you've been able to really really win, come out on top in so many different ways, and come out with grace and with beauty and with poise, not with anger and bitterness and fierceness like that, but just a genuine goodness about you that never changed. That is your core, I feel. And so whatever this judgment is that somebody made, I feel like they chose to go a different path, a path that made them feel secure. And here we go. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. And again, so I feel like there are people that look or want to look at your feet, that wonder what it is, what it would be like to worship your feet, to maybe suck on your toes, to lick the bottoms of your feet, put their tongue in between your toes. I don't know the deal, but you get the gist of that. It's self-explanatory. I think that even they fantasize about kind of like being your slave boy, or being your bottom. If you I heard rope slut, so if you guys know what that is, that's for somebody, but they would want to be like your rope bunny. Basically, they would want to be like dominated and tied up by you. That is like one fantasy that they have. This person can have lighter hair, they can have red hair, lighter skin, or they could have the stereotypical attributes of being a little bit fierce, okay? This one came out in pile number 2, so there might be something in there for you as well. But pile number 3, you have somebody who's extremely frustrated, thinks about contacting you all the time. They think about what romantic times you had, or maybe even just conversations, even if you're a coworker. I'm getting coworker vibes, by the way. So this could have been someone that you're not emotionally, mentally, physically entangled with, but that you simply had a job with, and you really connected on a deep level, and it really moved them, but for whatever reason it didn't go anywhere. And so this person could be feeling frustrated, like there's a pink candle, I think, for love. I mean, like they have really deep feelings for you, more so than they would even give themselves credit for. And now they're starting to understand that these feelings are kind of frustrating because they can't express them, or feel like they can't express them. Or like I was telling the other pal, it's like the kitty is playing with all of the paper that this person has thrown away. So it can feel almost like they think that you might toy with them, or they want to get their point across, or it's just like words elude them to really convey the extent of their interest or their feelings, or what they want to communicate. That, and I feel like they're like, oh, that's too much, or that doesn't communicate what I want, or that's too sexual, or but it's more than that. I miss you more than just like a friend, or I remember this about you, but how do I convey that without sounding stupid or creepy or creeper or lurker? Or somebody who's like obsessed, but they're kind of stuck in that energy. And the moon is out, and in this case I feel like it's just a great mystery of how, because I feel like they've gone over like possibilities in their minds, like how can I kind of overcome this, and how can I draw closer to my point of interest, for lack of a better way of saying that. What else do we have for pile number 3? Your sensuality, sexuality, and who is thinking about you, where, why, and withal. Show me now. Look. So, I mean, they're totally sexually frustrated. So, this is definitely thinking about your butt, about maybe even like having sex with you out in the open, or in a backyard or something like that, where there's like minimal things going on. Maybe just a couple of candles burning, or some night torches, or anything like that. But they would love to maybe take you camping, or go out, be in nature, and they would like to be all natural with you. Okay, so they want no holds barred. So they would like to feel what it would be like to have you maybe sit on them and all of that wonderfulness. Have your legs tangled with theirs, and they're wondering like how strong you are, and what would your hair look like, and what would your back look like, and what would you just be like in general. What else do we need to know about our pile number 3? Show me now. Okay, well, I just heard the word slutty, so so I don't know if maybe some people that are like really admiring you, because I feel like even there might be like an old lover or somebody in your past who's just like angry that they can't have you, and so they want to kind of slash or like lash out. Could be somebody also who is also frustrated and angry. And it's like, how dare they look so good, look so hot, and look so prosperous, and look like they can carry on without me? And how dare they look like they're moving on with their lives, and look like they're embracing their own sexuality, sensuality, and feeling themselves in every way, shape, and form? How dare they have the wherewithal to be able to create the life that they want, to be able to even embrace this coiled snake right here that I've never noticed before, in spite of them looming behind you or something like that, that you've been able to transpose and transmute all of these energies to your benefit, that you've been able to remain in the garden and indeed flourish and grow things that nobody thought you would be able to grow. And how is it that like my presence or the thought of me doesn't kind of tear them down again? So I feel like there's somebody who's frustrated that you have really elevated yourself, worked on yourself, and really you're giving no mind to anything, okay? Because on her mind right here, it's a little, I think it's, I don't know, of flowers, you know, when you braid flowers and you put it on somebody's head, whatever that's called. Anyways, but you are thinking about things that are growing. And with the Empress, she is all about sensuality, all about sexuality. And maybe this is even saying that I satisfy myself. I don't necessarily need anybody. So if the right person comes along, that's great. But if not, then bye. You know, I'm not interested. And that can be frustrating. I feel like 2 people at least feel that way about you. And then at least one nostalgic coworker, and then one friend who's been thinking about you as well. I have right here the Temperance, and I feel like you have really changed. You have softened a lot. They know what your inner strength is because you got the Strength card. But in spite of everything, you remain very lovely, very gentle, very alluring. Maybe you've grown your hair out, which is something that I keep coming back to. Maybe you have hair extensions or something about long hair that they love. Maybe it's a texture, it's a color, it's the way it flows. But ultimately, a lot of people actually are looking at you with sun vibes, with this is my end all be all. I'd love to even go to like a nudist colony, nudist beach with this person, or just be naked all around my house with my person and experience all sorts of sensuality, and maybe feed my person, enjoy the cornucopia of like having, you know, abundance and wealth, and I heard ample bottom. I don't know why it always comes across this way, but okay. And people, I think, wonder, it's like, what do you look like when you're pleasing yourself or having relationship with people? And for a lot of them, that kind of pisses them off. The 10 of Cups, I think that you, again, like your legs are a big deal here. So people tend to look at your legs, even if you have thick legs and you don't like them. People are like, I would like those locked around me, kind of an idea, you know? So here is another person who they would love to just come from behind you and just feel your whole body pressed up against them. They would love to touch your waist, your stomach, and yes, ladies, even if you have a belly, okay? Some guys are actually into that. And so being able to like cup your stomach and touch you in ways that other people have never, well, that haven't touched you before in their minds, okay? We always want to think we're the only one, kind of a thing. But the 9 of Swords is just about having a lot of anxiety, a lot of ideas. There's a great mystery, which seems to be kind of like this cat tripping up this person. And so this could be saying, I wonder if another cat is actually with my beloved or the person on my mind, and they can have anxiety about that. Or this could be saying, I don't know how to move forward or progress. How do I overcome like the mystery of the not knowing? How do I like approach the situation? And that can trip them up in moving forward. These people can really picture you in like thigh highs or nylons or fishnet stockings or things like that. And I feel like there is an element of I still want to write to you. I want to communicate with you. Okay. And then we have the Two of Pentacles here. So even for others that are actually looking at you, they have what I call scallywag energy, where maybe this is you thinking about love, thinking about romance, and just being genuine. And this person just feels like a creeper. It's like I threw my clothes on and I'm here, but I gotta go. Let's just go. That kind of a thing. So maybe this person is wishing upon a star, having a desire to be fulfilled, and they have their heart chakra just wide open and really thinking about real issues of love. And this person is just really thinking about in it for the minute, and then I gotta run back to my other partner. This person is not to be trusted if you're looking for something long term. Okay. And so, and you're gonna know, because it'll be like, wow, okay, you gotta go. Alrighty then, here we go. And then we have the King of Chalices. So this is somebody who has been in love with love, the idea of love, and they would love to see you, again, maybe in thigh highs, nylons, fishnets, maybe your boobs out, not totally undressed. I think they would love to have you pretend that maybe like it's servant master style or something like that, that you're at their beck and call, that they could feel like the Grand Master while you sit by their feet at their beckoning type thing. But they would love to be able to feel like they have that power and control over you. But there is some emotion towards you, like so quite deep emotion towards you, and a lot of abundance. Like they want to be able to feel like the man, like they can provide, that they can give. And also that they're really well respected by you. So I do feel like this is more role playing. Like this king isn't saying I want you to be subservient to me all the time, but just more like a role playing thing. Okay. And that is what I'm getting. Okay. Last card for you, Knight of Pentacles. You just have a lot going on here. A lot of people think about you sensually, sexually. With your thighs, again, something about you can have like two-tone hair, different colored hair, or they could just not know even what to expect whenever they see you. What color is your hair going to be this time, that kind of a thing. And this knight can be somebody who wants to offer you maybe like a meal or to go out with them. The Knight of Pentacles, but it's something like, yeah, I want to stop, stall, have dinner, maybe have picnic on the outside, something tangible with you, and they would like to just see you eat and be in your presence. And whatever it is that they want from you, they need to feel secure, okay, before that it progresses, if it does, if you allow it to. This person does think about their freedom, and so it could be like, I'm going to see if we're compatible, if I feel like I'm like really intrigued, I really want this person. I think that you're hot, I love your hair, I love how you're different, I love how you're still like very girly, womanly, or I love your curves. And if you're a man, then I love how strong you are and how muscular and how you handle situations and how intense you can be. But I want to know ultimately if I can keep my freedom. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm pinned down, hemmed in, or anything else. So their security is going to be utmost on their mind. They want to make sure that you don't unbalance that for them. Not meaning that they don't want a permanent relationship. It is potential, but they don't want to feel like, okay, it's going to be like dogmatic. Is it going to change like who I am? Ultimately, this has to be a natural fit to where you fit in with what makes them feel safe, secure, and even add to it. Okay, so I hope that these things make sense. Much love to you. If you like this kind of reading, smash a like button, like, share, comment, subscribe. Namaste.